So, pyar badi sat sri akal and a warm welcome to the show again. This is me and myself, RJ Raman, back with the RJ Raman show every Sundays, 2 till 4. I've got a very interesting guest who's joined on the show today, who's going to be talking about a very interesting concert what's getting taken place in various parts of the country. The West End Bhangra musical. The name says it all. It's a very interesting name, and it's a very, very interesting concert was taking place in various parts of the country. So I've got another artist who's been around in the music scene for many years. He's got a massive contribution to Punjabi music. I'm talking about the man himself, Shin DCS. I remember going to a music shop many years ago, Desi Culture Shock. The title's just amazing. So Shin DCS, massive contribution to Punjabi music, and he's joining on the show today to talk about this concert and talk about his music. So pyar badi sat sri akal and a warm welcome on the show, Shin. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you very much, Raman. It's a pleasure to be here, yeah.
Fantastic. So Shin DCS, a massive name in the history of UK's Bhangra music. Many people have followed your music, still love your tracks. Starting from the 80s, 90s and up to now, 2019. How's the musical journey been so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's been a fantastic journey. I have no complaints whatsoever. From the day I started making music in the early 80s when DCS was formed, up until now, just haven't looked back.
Fantastic. I've been listening to your music from very young age. It's an absolute pleasure I've got you on the show today.
It's great to be here, yes.
Fantastic. So seeing, history is now being created now. Once again, seeing all the UK's pioneers of Bhangra music on one stage at the West End Bhangra musical this year. How did you get involved in this massive event?
Well, the guys who are putting this event together, namely the main man from the Legends band, Harry, Dips Bamra, and Cam Chera from, he's a promoter from Newcastle Sunderland ways. I know these boys, and they've kind of hatched this idea where they wanted to do these shows with all the legends, the UK legends.
Fantastic.
And put them on in a way that they've never been done before, these shows. They're going to be done on a very, very, very high level, very, very professional level. It's a massive, massive production. I think they've been rehearsing now for a good 3 or 4 months. And putting the whole show together, because there's so many different aspects that need to come together and work on the same day as in one show. Rehearsals are still going on at this as I'm speaking today. The rehearsal as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
the whole concept. It's just mind blowing. It's something was creating history.
It definitely will be creating history. This is you will never have seen the UK bands performing like this. We're getting our due credit, our due stage. These are the kind of stages that we should be presented on, and presented in this way as well. It hasn't been done before. It's going to be the first time here in the UK where there's such a massive production going on, such massive shows. And this is why they're being done in theatres as well, really, because you can't really have these in as a dinner and dance or a banqueting suite, or in a nightclub somewhere. These are prestigious shows, and people are going to come down, sit on their seats, and they're going to have they're not just going to see a show, they're going to have an experience. An experience that they will remember for a long time.
This is almost like the first time this is happening in UK's Bhangra music history, where there's people out there who actually go and see live theatre, especially when you look at the Western audience. They're kind of, they do consistently always go to theatres to see a live performance. It's very rare it would happen in a Punjabi kind of community.
Yeah, it's very rare that it happens in the Asian community. As such, I've been involved with musical theatre. I did a show some years back called Britain's Got Bhangra.
Yes, definitely.
Which was a theatre piece, which was where I was acting, singing, and telling a whole story, which is a narrative of how Bhangra music came to the UK and how it became popular back in the 80s. And I was basically telling the story of somebody like myself, somebody like Apna Sangeet, somebody like Hira, Alap, these bands that formed and we kind of took over the world at one point with our music.
बिल्कुल.
In the 80s and 90s, you know, it was a magical time for live music, and we were producing album after album that were becoming hits all over the world. And we are the generation that sold Bhangra or Punjabi music back to India and Pakistan.
बिल्कुल.
You know, and to Bollywood. You know, these people were copying what we were doing over here.
Exactly. 100%.
You know, it became a massive movement all over the world. You know, from the west to the east, you name any country, you know, we've probably gone and played there, and we've got fans and followings out there. You know, and it's in this country. This is the first time this kind of show has been happening, and because everything's been done, all the publicity has been going on via social media.
Yeah.
I've been getting messages from fans that I have abroad in like Malaysia, Singapore, Kenya,
Wow.
even you know, states, saying that you should bring this show over here, bring the show here, you know. And I've been telling the promoters, and you know, they're forming plans to kind of tour this thing worldwide as well.
Fantastic. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, it must be a golden moment of yours for yourself, Shane, and the rest of the other legendary artists that you're reuniting once again on a UK tour.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, you must have been performing in every gig, you know, with artists, and now you're getting together on such a big level on a big platform. It's just amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, back in the day, you know, we were performing all the time, up and down the country. We'd be playing with like Apna Sangeet Hira, we'd be playing with Alap and Malkeet Singh, you know, whoever the artists are at the time, the Safari Boys and that. We'd be performing with them up and down the country, you know, Bradford, Glasgow, Newcastle, Leeds, Manchester, London, Birmingham, Leicester, Nottingham, you name it. We'd be everywhere, and performing together in nightclubs, doing dinner and dances on 3 or 4 bands at a time. And this, you know, and that whole era kind of finished as live music, you know, started to die down a little bit, and DJs have taken over. But it's so refreshing for this thing to come back again. And there's the fans of live music who are out there, who are always asking us, you know, we want more live music, we want to see you guys playing again. You know, and these shows are especially for them, but not only for them. It's also for a generation of people who have never experienced live music, who've never seen live music being performed. You know, and these kids, these youngsters need to come and see these shows and experience what live music is all about, because they're gonna get a massive hit when they come there. Because, oh my gosh, what is this? You know, I never knew this was it was like this. You know, and they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
Well, it's almost like a revival of that era back to now in 2019, where it's kind of in a way of education.
It is really
educating the generation.
Precisely, that's what it is. It's an education for them, you know, to come to see how the scene was at that time. It was a magical time, you know. I don't know how old you are, or if you were around.
Well, I am a 90s kid, so I remember I've always grown up with 90s music.
Okay, so you've grown up with it. Your parents have heard it, you know, and you know, you've probably heard of what the scene was like at that time. I don't know if you was old enough to go into the nightclubs, but it was a massive scene, bruv. It was a massive scene, not just here in the UK, all over the world. We were touring like America, Canada, you know, Africa, Europe, Malaysia, Singapore, you know, Australia. We were all over the place.
Wow, fantastic.
You know, just a massive scene everywhere, and the receptions that we used to get were just phenomenal.
Wow.
And even now, I mean, we're still performing all over the place. Wow. But, you know, to see this revival of live music like this is just something else. It's fantastic. So, you know, I'd urge all your listeners, you know, whether you're old school fans, you know, and if you're an old school fan, I definitely want to see you there. But, you know, bring your children with you, you know, bring anybody who's never seen a live show before. Bring them down, because they're going to experience something that, you know, that will live with them for the rest of their life. Definitely.
I mean, the listeners who are currently tuned right now on the shows, oh my gosh, really, I mean, a massive, I would say, message that this is the man himself, Shin DCS, saying this, because it is a very, very historical event to take, you know, to actually, you know, to be part of this as well. So, I mean,
you know, and just let me say one more thing about this show. I don't want to give too much away. But one thing I must say is, this is for the connoisseurs of Bhangra music. Back in the day, we used to record albums. Ajkal they're all singles, hardly anybody records albums anymore. And you record singles that are all dance-orientated stuff. It has to work on the dance floor, because DJs only play a song if it's a dance song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But back in the day when we used to record albums, we used to record a lot of songs. We'd record out of 10 songs, probably 3 songs would be dance floor anthems, right? And they'd always work.
Yeah.
But the other 6 or 7 songs would be songs where we would experiment with lyrics, we'd experiment with melodies, we'd experiment with the style of music, or it would be, you know, a serious song, a sad song, a listening song. And those songs we never used to get to perform on stages because we'd be playing at weddings and parties and doing, you know, nightclub shows. So at these shows that we're performing at now, you're going to be hearing a lot of songs, obscure songs that you would never normally get to hear me performing, or Apna Sangeet performing, or Hira or Pradesi. You know, you're going to hear some of those special songs, those gems that we produce that people don't get to hear every day. Only the connoisseurs of Bhangra would know those songs. And you're going to be very pleasantly surprised because they're beautiful songs. And when you see them performed, and when you hear them, and when you see the visuals that are going with these with these songs, the music, you know, the visuals on the screen, the lighting and everything, and the dances, it's gonna blow you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Looking forward to this event. I mean, coming back to yourself, Shin, I mean, you've been in the music industry for many, many years. I mean, I've grown up myself listening to your music. I mean, especially the song, one of my favorite songs, I would say, Dil Fir Bhi Punjabi. I mean, it just makes you proud to be a Punjabi when you listen to that track. And it's an evergreen track. I mean, then coming down to Tenu Kol Ke, then a song like Rab Ne Banaiyan Jodiyan, unique evergreen track. I mean, many DJs still play it as a first dance. I mean, listening to that, I mean, listening to all sort of that kind of music, I mean, followed to achieve that knowledge of selecting songs, I mean, being smash hits as well. I mean, tell us a bit about the Ghana selection on the. I mean, who have you actually inspired from, you know, to actually.
Do you know what? Over the years, we put. I mean, let me tell you about Rab Ne Banaiyan Jodiyan, right? How that song came about. This happened like early 2000s, you know. I mean, DCS has been performing at weddings and shows since early 80s, right? I've been performing for 35 years and I'm still out on the road even now. I'm performing, you know. This song came about because we used to perform at weddings and people would come to us and say, can you do our first dance? And I'd say, yeah, of course we can perform your first dance. Or we want to hear, can you do this Bollywood song for us? And we said, yeah, okay, we'll do this Bollywood song for you. And I began to notice that every song, every dance, first couple's, you know, first song for the couple used to be a Bollywood song. And I started thinking, well, why is there no Punjabi songs that are like Bollywood songs that are dedicated for couples? You know, and Punjabi love songs. And I looked at the market, and there wasn't that much there, tell you the truth. You know, it's very obscure. Kite koi gana milda hai jera us tarah na hoye. So I thought, oh, you know, why isn't there nothing like this? And let's do something if there isn't something like this, you know. And because I'm a big Bollywood fan anyway, and a Rafi Saab fan, you know, it gives me great pleasure to sing these kind of lovey-dovey songs anyway. So, you know, I wrote the chorus for this song, Rab Ne Banaiyan Jodiyan Tere Mere Mel Karaye. And then I used to have a very good friend of mine, Devraj Jassal.
Bilkul, massive contribution.
Massive contributor to the Bhangra. You know, he's got a legacy that he's contributed to the Bhangra industry.
Definitely.
And he was a very good friend of mine. We always used to work together. When I used to write songs, I'd sit with him, I'd give him my chorus, and then he'd finish the song off for me, he'd add to the chorus, and then he'd pick up on the verses and sort the verses out for me. And so we used to co-write together a lot. And he finished off all the verses for me, and then I wanted to go to Bollywood and get all this and get the strings and some of the vocals done there as well, the backing female chorus vocals. So I went to Bollywood and used those massive studios that were used by people like Rafi Saab and Kishore and you know, Lata Ji and all these mega, you know, music directors like R.D. Burman.
How was that feeling, Bessie? You know, recording your tracks there. I mean, how was that feeling?
Bro, it's an amazing feeling when you work in those studios with those people. They're utter professionals, you know, and they work to perfection. They work to perfection, and it was such an experience. I learned so much in that trip when I was working over there, and meeting with musicians. And I attended a couple of recording sessions while I was there as well. You know, it was amazing just to see how they work and operate over there. It was a fantastic experience. But you know, we recorded all this stuff over there and brought it back with me. Finished the song here, and you know, lo and behold, you know, people loved it. You know, people identified with it straight away, and it became a massive hit everywhere. So you know, you just get these, because we've been working in the industry for so long. You see these spaces in the industry. So yaar, is gaane di lod hai, ya is type bhangde da gana chahiye, par it needs to be on this subject, yeah, it needs to be on this kind of beat, yeah, style ch hona chahiye ya. You know, you tend to notice these gaps in the industry that need to be filled with certain songs. And you try and plug those songs. Or कई बारी होता है बैठे ਨੂੰ कोई गाना आ ਜਾਂਦਾ दिमाग ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, you know, कोई you know, it's not, there's no formula to this. It just tends to happen when it's going to happen.
वाह क्या बात है, fabulous. I mean, you know, Shin, you know, कुछ दिन पहले मैं ना सोचता था बैठा, you know, I was thinking like, you know, in Punjab, I mean, you know, Punjabi the film industry has gone massive now compared to how it was before. I mean, there's always a hit film coming out, and I was thinking, I was watching a track on the TV, and I was watching the song, and it had like, you know, Lembar Hussain Puri, it had 5-6 other artists doing like a medley, like a bowling out of the end of a Punjabi film. I was just imagining, man, would it be so wicked to see UK artists doing that in a Punjabi film?
Doing that. Yeah, that would be brilliant.
It would be just a revival, you know, of that, because at the end of the day, like yourself know, UK Bhangra music is like the hub of Punjabi music.
It is, yeah, it is. You know, well, you know, the UK Bhangra music is what started off this whole trend around the world for Bhangra music, basically. You know, the dance element to Punjabi music, which became Bhangra music, was really introduced by the UK bands. And it took off all over the world. And like I said earlier, you know, they started copying what we were doing in Bollywood. They started copying what we were doing in Punjab, you know, and anywhere else, you know, which was a great honor for us, you know, to see that happening with people taking our music and trying to do what we're doing. I mean, I spoke when Gurdas Manji is coming again later on this year. When he came a couple of years back, I don't know if you went to see his shows, but his shows were very different this time around. He had a Western band with him, which he brought from Bollywood. And Gurdas Manji never comes with a Western band. He always has a very typical Desi Gurdas Man setup to his music, which is what people love, and that's what Gurdas Man is renowned for, right? But this time around, his son Gurik Man, whom I know, he was producing the shows this time for Gurdas Ji. And I met Gurik after the shows, and we were just chatting, you know, and I was telling him, I said, you know, you did a very good job. I said, I love the music. I love the way that you're trying to experiment with Gurdas Manji's sound and trying to, you know, get more progressive with the music. And he says, thank you very much, Paji. He said, I wanted to hear that from you. He said, because these ideas that I'm using now on Gurdas Manji's shows, he said, I got from you people. From the UK bands, and especially DCS. Because Gurik studied here in the UK in the 90s. He was a student here, and he used to come to our shows even back in those days. And he used to watch the bands, see what they were doing, and see how especially with bands like DCS, because we were very Western in our instrumentation and our like chord progressions and stuff that we used underneath all the vocals and stuff. The way we arrange our songs, basically. And he was very impressed with that back then. He said, Baji, this is what I'm trying to do, what you guys were doing back in the day.
Fantastic.
I was really honored to hear him say that.
Wow, I mean, you know, this is why we consider you as pioneers.
I mean, this is why I say, you know, we influenced with our music the whole world, basically. And when you hear, you know, somebody like Gurdas Man trying to do, you know, basically it's like a tribute from him to, you know, somebody like us, and it's a massive respect on his side for that, you know?
Wow, fantastic. I mean, Shin, coming back to West End Bhangra music, I mean, a once in a lifetime concert performing live with a live band alongside the Legends band. I mean, how's the experience going working with them?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, you know, the Legends band they're a bunch of musicians, right? They are the best musicians in the Bhangra industry from over the. I've worked with all these boys from over the years. I think I've played at most of their weddings, apart from one or two of them. I've played at their weddings as well. They're fans of DCS, you know, and I've known them since they were young. They've been playing in bands throughout the years. They're the best musicians in the industry, and when they play together, I had a rehearsal with them on Wednesday, and my God, it blew my mind, some of the stuff that they were doing. It was amazing. They're reproducing the old songs exactly how they sounded back in the day, which is amazing.
This is kind of what people are expecting to hear, that same sound, or they've grown up listening to that.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. Precisely. I mean, the way we used to sound on those old cassettes and those old records that you used to have, you know, and the CDs that you may have bought, that is exactly how you're going to hear the songs on the day.
Fabulous, fabulous. I mean, noticing the press conferences being done. I mean, I've heard that the tickets are nearly sold out as well.
Well, the ticket sales are going really well, which is really good to hear. Really good to hear.
Lovely, lovely. I mean, tell us a bit about your rehearsals. I mean, behind the scenes moments. I mean, sometimes you have funny moments with the band or something. Tell us a bit of a.
Well, there's always a lot of joking and stuff that's going on, in rehearsal rooms, and some of it can't come out of the rehearsal. I'm afraid. It's not. I can't really mention most of it on the ears like this. It's not safe for your listeners, but it's all fun stuff. It's a big laugh working with the lads because like I say, we've known each other for years. We've been playing out on the circuits for years, so there's a lot of stories that knock around, and we're all very pally with each other.
Wow.
So it's really fun when we all get together like that in one room and then have it out with each other.
Fabulous.
It's good fun. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean,
they should actually what they should do is they should have done. In fact, I don't even know if they're doing it. A behind the scenes video of how this is all building up and how they've worked with the band, how they've worked with the artists, and get cameras into the rehearsal rooms and everything. And it would be great fun. It would be great viewing for people to see how it all comes together, really.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How much, because when we're on stage, people see this and they say, oh, that's so glamorous, but oh, they got a great life. It's so easy. Look at them, what they're doing. It's such fun performing. But they don't see the hard work that goes into the shows. I mean, like I told you, these boys have been working at this show for the last 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Continuously, and rehearsing and working out the music, then working with the singers, then working with the production teams. There's a lot of hard work and planning that goes into it, and you don't see that, but you see the finished product, which is all nice and finished and shiny and glitzy and looks glamorous. You don't see the sweat and tears behind the closed doors.
That needs to be shown in a way because as you know, I mean, you've been in the industry for many years. I mean, there was an era where people used to buy records, LP records, and cassettes, and to CDs, and then piracy comes. Unfortunately, I mean, that kind of destroys the music industry in a way. And then suddenly the social media comes, which is beneficial for every artist, but it's kind of like it feels like as if that kind of passion, that kind of interest in people, where they used to go to the music shop, the local music shop, to buy a cassette when it used to get released. But now there's this iTunes and all these sites of comment. It's kind of, cut down a bit that love and respect to music. Yeah, that magic, that expectation, that's all kind of gone. Like you say, social media is good in one respect, that an artist can release something today and it's released worldwide straight away. Definitely.
In that respect, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And for marketing, it's brilliant. You get to your public straight away.
Yep.
But in the respect of record sales, in the respect of people, back in the day, buying their cassettes, tapes, and holding something in your hand and calling it your own, going out and paying for it, waiting for it to come. There's a big build-up, like a couple of weeks before, the new Alarp tapes coming out. Even I used to go and buy these cassettes, I used to say, when's Alarp's tape coming out? When's he does next one? When's the next one coming out? And I'd be waiting, just like all the rest of the fans, because I'm a fan of Punjabi music as well. I wanted to hear what they're doing, and I'd be waiting and going out and buying them. I've got a loft full of records and cassette tapes. I don't know what to do with them all.
Whoa.
I haven't got the heart to throw them out. I'd be waiting to go and buy it, and you'd hold it in your hand. You'd open up the cassette tape and you'd read all the writing from the first page to the last page. You'd read every single thing and see who they're crediting, see what the songs are called, and see how the music sounds, and it was a magical time. And
it was
you had something you could call your own.
It was like an excitement in a person.
It was excitement. And at the end of the day, you'd own something. You're buying a piece of that music, and it's yours to keep and treasure. Ajkal, you don't have that thing. Or value
it's
the music.
Very unfortunate in a way.
It is very, very unfortunate. That is the only downside of the internet as regards music. I mean, the same thing has happened with films as well, really, to a certain extent. If you look, Bollywood and Hollywood, they spend so much money making these films, and then you watch them on YouTube or whatever, on some pirate sites for free. And it's heartbreaking to see that going on, because a lot of people, a lot of artists, and a lot of people have put a lot of effort into making something unique, for you. And, you should at least have the respect for these people who are working to entertain you, to to go out and buy the products at least, and support them so that they can then go away and do good work for you again.
That's it.
We can only make good music if you're going to support us to make good music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Salute of वैसे भाजी, that's a point noted. I mean, even the listeners who are tuned in as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something what needs to get think twice. It's something what we need to think in our mind that are we actually, we go buy tickets, we buy, go and see shows, we go and see concerts, but are we really respecting our artists, the hard work what they're putting into music?
Yeah.
It's a question to answer, So, I mean, Shin, I remember a few months ago I was watching this, because nowadays YouTube is a channel where every person's got a YouTube channel. They're always uploading videos and so on, right? And I was watching a video, right? It was a very old wedding movie I was watching a couple of weeks ago. It was an 80s wedding in the UK.
Okay.
And I noticed only the UK Bhangra songs were playing, like Hira, Alap, Yourself, DCS, Sahotas. It was a reception party. And when it comes to the live performance, I noticed you're performing on stage on that wedding.
Okay.
And you're singing a few Hindi songs, which are Muhammad Rafi classics like Baharo Phool Barsao. I mean, that track, iconic track.
Iconic track.
I mean, the question is, have you ever been approached to do playback singing in a Bollywood or Punjabi film?
In the early days, DCS did a couple of Bollywood films. Yeah, we did a film called Cricketer. We did the music for that, in which I sang as well. And we did a film called Ronak. Again, I sang in that film as well.
Wow.
And these soundtracks did really well over in India. They did really, really well at that time. But I don't really have that pull to go over there and spend time there. Let me tell you a little story. I did an album called Desi Culture Shock, right?
Yes, I remember that. I've still got the cassette for that.
You still got the cassette for that?
Still got it saved. Hasn't broken. The cover's still there.
Oh, that's good. Treasure it, my friend.
Treasure
I'm hoping that cassette players are going to come back in fashion.
Definitely.
And I'm going to bring all my cassettes down from upstairs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recorded a song on there with Jaspinder Narula.
Yes.
Right, who's an amazing singer from Bollywood. Right?
Definitely.
And when the CD was released, I was in Bollywood, and then I was in Mumbai, and I thought I'll go and see Jaspinder ji, and I'll give them a CD by hand, and pay my regards to her as well.
Yeah.
And she heard the song, and she said to me, Surinder ji, she said, why don't you? She said, आप यहाँ Bollywood में आओ, मुंबई में आए. मैं क्या क्यों दीदी, आपको कैसा लगता है? क्योंकि आपकी आवाज यहाँ के सूटेड है. आपको यहाँ काम मिल सकता है, लेकिन आपको पहले आके यहाँ स्ट्रगल करना पड़ेगा. And when she said this word struggle, right, I thought to myself that नहीं यार, this is not the time for me to be struggling. I don't want to be struggling anyway.
Because struggle loves you.
I know. I mean, I've struggled in my early days in the UK when I needed to. And now I'm established in the UK and the rest of the world. I don't want to be struggling here now in Mumbai as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could have done something there when there was a time, but it never really attracted me. And we would tell you the truth, bro, we were so busy with shows and just doing what we were doing all the time that I never really paid too much attention to that side. But I get my kicks for Bollywood. I do a lot of Bollywood shows. I'm a big Muhammad Rafi fan. And here in Birmingham, there is a symphony orchestra called the CBSO, the Symphony, the Symphony Orchestra of Birmingham, City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra. And whenever they do Bollywood shows, tribute nights like A.R. Rahman night, R.D. Burman night, Muhammad Rafi night, they do these massive nights, musical nights. And I'm always part of those. I help them with the organization of it, and I'm performing as well on stage with those. We're performing like with a 100-piece orchestra when we're on stage, and that is my buzz. When I'm doing those shows, I'm like on cloud 9 in heaven, because it's amazing. It's at the Symphony Hall, which is the best concert venue in Europe, and you're playing with a 100-piece orchestra behind you. You're standing in front singing to a full house, 3,000 people, and it's magic here. I'm in heaven.
Wow.
So I get my
Bollywood
kicks from there.
Wow, I can't imagine that, performing and in that kind of environment with a massive orchestra band. I mean,
I was in Mumbai in the early 90s, and I went to watch Lakshmikant Pyarelal recording session.
All right.
At a place called Mehboob Studios.
Yes, Mehboob Studios.
And
very famous.
recording that day, they were recording a film. I think it was a film called Nagina. Nagina 2.
yeah.
Nagina 2, Rishi Kapoor film, right?
Yeah.
Rishi Kapoor Shri Devi film.
Classic.
And singing that day were Mohammad Aziz Saab, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Fantastic name in the
Kya
industry.
baat hai.
Kya
Kya
baat
baat
hai.
hai. What a voice. And Anuradha Podwal.
Wow.
And Lakshmikant Pyarelal, they were giving the music. And they had, in that studio, I think it was 120 musicians playing in one go.
Fabulous.
Recording the song live. That's how they used to do it back in the day.
You cannot go wrong
I had
with
such an amazing experience watching them that day and sitting with Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji and, you know, seeing how they work with the singers. Lakshmikant used to sit with the singers and go through the song with them and teach them the song and make sure that they're singing it correctly. And Pyarelal ji used to handle the musicians with his arrangers, get all the music done, and then they'd all come together in the evening and record the song. You know, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes, however many takes they need to do to get it exactly right. And what an experience that was. And when I was approached by CBSO in 2006 to do a Muhammad Rafi tribute concert.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to recreate on stage, was the 100-piece orchestra standing behind you when you're singing, you know, playing behind you when you're singing on stage. And that's what we recreate when we do those shows. You know, and I just want to say to your listeners, if you've never seen one of those shows, next time there's a CBSO show in Birmingham and it's a Bollywood tribute concert, please come down and watch it. You'll love it.
Definitely.
It's
I mean,
magical.
listeners who are listening, they have to come to this event because I would say it's just phenomenal. I mean, the whole feeling, the venue itself proves the point. You know, you know, you can't go wrong with the venue. So, fabulous, fantastic. So, I mean, Shane, coming back to Western Bhangra musical, I mean, 4 amazing locations: London, Bradford, Birmingham, and Newcastle. I mean, tell us about the excitement you've got now. I mean,
well, bro, I can't wait to start performing. Tell you, this Wednesday after rehearsal, you know, and we had such a very good rehearsal, and like I said, the band were reproducing the songs exactly like they're recorded. You know, and I was thinking to myself, man, I just can't wait to get onto stage and now perform these songs. People need to hear these songs and how they're being produced. And I had a meeting with Dips and Harry the other day, and they were going through the whole production plan with me and showing me how the show is actually going to look. Basically, they had mock-up visuals and mock-up computerized generated images of it all, and it's going to be amazing. Honestly, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited, and I just want to get on stage and do these shows, you know. And I just want to see people's faces. I want to see people's faces when I'm singing on those front seats, you know, and just see their faces and see how much they're enjoying the show, because they're going to love it. They're going to love it. I know it.
Fabulous. I mean, history being created on the land of Great Britain. UK Bhangra music on stage. I mean, that is phenomenal. I mean, देखो जी हुन जेडे साडे listener भी है ना गल्लां बातां तो होंदियां ही हैं, but they want to listen to 2 lines of any of your favorite track. 2 लाइनां सानू सुना दिओ, क्योंकि देखो जी सानू तो पता है कि थोड़ी कलेक्शन बड़ी कमाल दी है.
Let me give you a couple of lines of an obscure song that I'm going to sing there on the day. I'll just give you a couple of lines of it. I won't go into the hook line.
The hook line
is not going to stop. Yeah.
Definitely. No problem. No problem.
Okay. Usually I do riyaz every day, but because I've got guests staying with me in the house, my daughter's down from Leeds, so I haven't been able to do my riyaz today, but I'll try and do best I can.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay. Telephone kheta te lavaya jatt ne, ghar wala number kamaya jatt ne. बेच के चटाला नाले बेच के कमा दी, बेच के चटाला नाले बेच के कमा दिया, जला के मंडी दा गेड़ा, वो लेके खेतां वाल, वो आजा खेतां वाल, वो लेके खेतां वाले आजा जट्टिए.
वाह,
there's some more after that, but I'm not going to sing the rest.
क्या बात है, जितना सुनाया तुझे सलूट है वैसे. वाह जी वाह, बाकमाल, fabulous.
Thank you.
So I mean, सारे are excited, like. They're just looking forward to the event. It's an absolute pleasure that we've got you in Yorkshire in the Bradford concert at St George's Hall.
Yes. I mean, St George's Hall, I know it's been refurbished lately.
Yep.
A lot of people have been telling me good things about it, and we're really looking forward to playing it. Because the last time I played in there was about 4 or 5 years ago, and for another function. But since the refurb, I haven't played there, and we're really looking forward to it, and it should be fantastic.
देखो जी यॉर्कशायर दी काउंसिल ने बड़े पैसे खर्चे हैं क्योंकि उन्हें पता है that Shin DCS is going to be performing there.
Well, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੜੀ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਖਰਚਿਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਣ ਵਧਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ। ਵਾਹ ਜੀ ਵਾਹ
ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ that you took out your quality time to be part of the show today. I mean, the listeners who are tuned in right now, I mean, what message do you want to give to them?
Well, I just want to say to them, thank you for following DCS all over these years, yeah? Please keep following us. We're still working on new stuff, which will be coming out very shortly. But please, 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 come and see these shows wherever you are, in Yorkshire, in Newcastle, Birmingham, London, wherever you live. If you're an old school Bhangra music fan, or even if you've never seen a live show, come down and have a lifetime experience. You will love the shows. You will enjoy the shows, and you will go away with a memory that you will never forget.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, big respect, Shin, for taking quality time to meet the
Thank you for having me.
It should be the great success, and hoping to hear some more music from yourself as well.
Definitely, Peter.
So that was the exclusive live interview with the man himself, Shin DCS, who's got a massive contribution to UK's Bhangra music since the 80s to the 90s, and to now 2019, performing live on various parts of England. And it's going to be an absolutely pleasure to see him live and direct on stage performing alongside the rest of the pioneers of UK Bhangra music. It's the West End Bhangra Musical UK Tour 2019. And it's going to be an amazing event, and anyone who wants to go to that event, you have to go, because it's an event not to be missed. It's a golden opportunity, and it's a historical moment of UK's Bhangra culture. So I'm going to be taking a short commercial break because I got a very amazing song requests what have come through from UK's Bhangra music. So this is myself, RJ Raman, taking a short commercial break. Milde and ji break to baad.